Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Mesgp. Today is the final round of the World Supersport Championship on GP bikes, and today we are coming from probably the greatest track in known history, and that is of course Jerez. So here we are in the start of our qualifying lap, and it didn't take much really. Coming into this round, you'll see the championship standings on screen now, and realistically we just need to kind of finish pretty decently well in both races and we should have the championship. But that's not the way we want to do it. We want to go out and win on Saturday and see if we can win the championship with a victory. Of course, so far in the first 4 rounds we've won a race at every round, so we're looking to keep that rolling and at least win one here in Jerez. Of course, it's such a good track for me. I have a lot of fond memories as well, so I'm really trying to make it a good send-off for this championship. Now, see here as we come down now to Pedrosa's corner on our qualifying lap, we've smaller than usual grid, unfortunately, which is a bit of an unfortunate end to this championship. Basically, another championship has started up in, I think, GP Bikes Indonesia, and very similar type of championship, different bikes but similar championship. So unfortunately we've lost a couple of riders to that, so we actually end the championship with probably a slightly weaker field with less riders. So it's been unfortunate for the final round, but it is what it is. We are here on board with our fastest lap on qualifying, and overall it felt pretty decent. I knew probably my one lap pace is never my strongest thing, so come race day for Saturday and Sunday, I'd be pretty confident I could get the job done. I'd be really looking to get a win in both of them, really, because I just wanted to really end the championship well. And on Saturday here, we're trying to start off the race weekend best way possible and go for a pole position, and that is exactly what we do. So we end up slightly ahead of Foxter, 0.3 of a second ahead of him, and Billy Jones runs out the front row. So here we are now at the end of our warm-up lap, and I was coming into it quite confident because, again, I knew I had decent race pace. My race pace is always better than my qualifying, so if I can qualify well, usually it means I can have a pretty good race overall. So coming into the race on Saturday, a couple of instances here on the way to the grid. So critical thing, as always, I say probably every video I do, that I have to get a good start. If I can get away cleanly, keep myself out of trouble, and we'll see how the race plays on from there. So 4 red lights, here we are now on the starting line, and we are off. Unfortunately this week didn't have any replays saved from this race, so we don't have any exterior shots. But down to turn 1, Billy Jones, Foxer have picked me off the line, and Billy just kind of picks up when Ben comes near him, and I kind of just get shuffled slightly wide, which means I lose P3 to Ben, and take it nice and gingerly in here, keeping on the racing line. And yeah, our chances of winning the championship with a victory have been unfortunately taken away from us. Ajax felt, he said there was a gap. I'm not too sure really where he was seeing a gap because I was on the racing line, but it is what it is. We jump now to the end of the next lap, and the gap, as you'll see here in a second, just over 5 seconds. And in reality, I probably could have maybe cut some of that down if I went absolute hell for leather, and if Fox in the lead was taking a bit kind of gingerly, but getting through traffic and stuff, it was going to be a real uphill task. A couple laps later now, we have caught up to the back of Ben and Alpha Claus. So again, our pace has really shown. These guys have been kind of battling and probably holding each other up, but we've managed to get to the back of them pretty quickly. So at this point in the race, I'm still thinking that maybe I could win. I can see the gap is down under 5 seconds out, so we are taking slight bit of time out of Foxer. So I've caught Ben now, and I really just want to get past him because his pace in qualifying was nothing special, so I knew in the race I kind of needed to dispose of him pretty quickly. And just here, you can just see he pulls away from me again in the slipstream, and a small little kind of a little jink in the braking zone, and that puts me on a different line. And unfortunately then that kind of just kind of barrel rolls into a bigger incident than I was. I had to avoid him on the brakes, and then that led to me kind of having to pick up then to avoid Alpha, and I'm not too sure if he just turns in or if it lags or what, but yeah, unfortunately I get taken out, so that is me out of the race for the win definitely at this point. And we've caught him once again, and once again we're looking that we're a bit quicker, so we're going to try and make the pass. I can just run him up to the curb there, and we got the move done. So I just kind of break the slipstream, just go a little bit right just to make sure, because I know the slipstream is very powerful. And down to turn 1, hit a bit of a bump, and kind of a nutting crash that I kind of call them. So it's one of those ones where I do the exact same thing every lap. I hit that bump every lap, and unfortunately that lap it didn't like it. So we're on the penultimate lap now. Once again we have caught up to the back of Ben, so this race has nearly been like a Groundhog Day of crash repeat, crash repeat. So we have a lap and a half left, and we are taking chunks out of Ben each lap. So I'm still thinking the podium is probably still on the cards as we are catching up to him. We're taking probably over a second a lap out of him. So at the moment, it's looking likely that we will get him just before the end of the race for P3. He's a bit wide through with this long right-hander, which gives me good drive down here. So again, not close enough for slipstream, unfortunately. But as you see now, as we're coming up, Tipper Joe's a very heavy braking zone. I'm pretty good on the brakes, but he makes a huge mistake. Ben has a habit of looking behind when he's racing, and I'm not too sure if he looks behind a couple of times in that straight or not, but either he misses braking zone or has a moment or something, but it was running off the track regardless there. So unfortunately, we didn't get to pass him and overtake him like we had previously, so we end up being kind of gifted that P3. But in terms of pace, it was well deserved. So other than that, nothing else really happened in the race. It was a frustrating one, annoyed really because I had the pace to win, and we end up only P3 after qualifying on pole, fast slap in the race, and P3 was a bit unfortunate, but it was enough to actually claim the title. So overall, it was really just a good result for me because we get the championship over the line, which was the main thing coming into the final round. But it's only P3, unfortunately. Congrats to Foxer, his first win of the championships, a little bit late, I suppose, for his championship challenge, but a perfect race from him. Got to the front and got the win, and this is our championship skin made by our team leader Bunta. In fairness, beautiful bit of work. It's a slight, just a slight design change to the normal one. You can see the gold stripe up the side, gold on my back of my leathers, and my helmet has just a couple more gold flakes in it, so it just kind of signify the championship. So overall, it's a slight different livery, but it's nice. And here we are now again on Sunday's qualifying, and again, I'm coming into it now. There is no pressure. We've won the championship. This is all about just trying to go out, win the race, qualify on pole, and get the fast lap. That was the goal coming into Sunday. And up to the line, and it is pole. No, it's not. It's only P3, unfortunately. Pace on Sunday wasn't as good. Now, a 39.3 is not slow, but unfortunately, I couldn't touch Foxer or Billy Jones when I came to the one-lap pace. And for some reason, it never really clicked on Sunday. It just never really felt good. But the good thing for me is that as soon as qualifying is over, we have a 10-minute warm-up, and then I went out and like consistently went faster than my qualifying lap in warm-up. So I was kind of thinking, this is annoying. But you can see there, my attitude coming into this race was win it or bin it. We're just going to send it, and that is exactly what we plan to do here now. We're on the front row, roles reversal. I think Foxer qualified third yesterday and he won, so maybe from third can we win? 4 red lights, here we are, and it is a good start compared to Foxer, but the initial phase is better, and then he gets a wheelie, but then he actually pulls away even with his wheelies, and I'm alongside him, and he actually going to release the brake, throws up the inside of Billy into turn 1, and thankfully we made it through turn 1 and up to turn 2 now. Again, it looks like another MV behind us, but thankfully we've made it to turn 2. We haven't died, so from here on out we just need to settle into this race and build. So at the moment, Foxer leads. Billy is hot on his heels at the moment in P2. So for me, perfect race start. I didn't need to lead into turn 1. I just made sure not to go backwards and not get up in someone else's incident. So we've done that pretty nicely. And Billy already looks very, very lively, as if he wants to maybe take the lead early here on lap 1. I have a quick look over my shoulder because we have a green flag. You just want to make sure what's around you. So I know I have a couple of tenths, maybe a second or so behind. So I can kind of just sit here for now. I don't need to make any moves. Billy gets slightly hot in on the brakes and then kind of squares off, gets a bit of wheel spin. So it looks like Billy's rear tire is not actually up to temperature at the moment. And through these fast lefts, it looks slightly like Foxer maybe pulled a small margin. Then he goes a little bit wide, so it kind of balances out. Because I remember thinking at the time, I was like, I might need to try and get a move done here on Billy if I can. But for now, opening lap, like I said, we got the main objective, just get away clean and get into a good rhythm. And into this second right here, Billy just makes a slight mistake, goes wide, kills his mid-corner speed, and we get a nice exit, and we throw it into the first of the right-handers. Real fast part of the track, but this is where I'm real strong. You would have seen from Assen and Barcelona, the high-speed stuff is where I excel, and Jerez, of course, last sector is nice and fast, so it really does suit me. But coming out of the final corner for the end of lap 1, Foxer, me and Billy are the front 3, Alpha Claw, and then we have the MV of Adrex in P5. So we're now trying our best to put pressure on our teammate in P1, Foxer, and just trying to make some openings. So at the moment, Billy looked like he had decent pace, but I think when we passed him, I think then Foxer maybe just put the hammer down, because I think at this point Fox as well had lost the championship, so his main objective was to kind of do a double-double, win the 2 races at the end of the year, and maybe take a bit of a shine off my championships that I went out winning without winning in some senses. But like a slight mistake there, and I think to myself, shit, that's going to leave Billy on to me now. But we managed to just stay in the slipstream of Foxer, and he goes a little bit defensive, so I kind of again really push the front end. I'm really confident on the brakes on this bike at the moment, especially this track. Not too sure why, it just seems to suit me a lot. So I was pretty happy and comfortable with how the race had gone so far. Now you'll see here now in the next couple of corners we will be definitely trying to get onto the back of him to kind of just maybe something similar to Billy, just maybe force a bit of an opening and get a wheel alongside him, because I know pretty much from the next right-handers to the end of the lap, this is where I am fairly strong. So for me, it was really critical that we get out of this right-hander here and then get a good run through Crivier, Ferrari and into Lorenzo's. And I think Fox just goes on the grass there, so I roll up to the back of him. And through mid-corner, I get held up so much. I even watch it now, I can feel that I'm just hesitant. And again, on the exit, we're just kind of waiting to go. So we end up going to the outside, which is a bit daring, but we actually do get to move down in fairness. Foxer does get slightly pinched on the inside between the track and me. We've taken the lead, so at the end of lap 2, we've gone from 3rd to 1st. And it has been the perfect start. Foxer in the slipstream. I know he's going to fight back. We had discussions after Mazzano 2, where basically he tried the whole race to overtake me, couldn't. So I was expecting as soon as I got ahead, he would try and basically leave the brake off and lever his way back into lead. But we were able to brake nice and early and just roll underneath him once again. So we managed to hold position, which is quite good. So now we have taken the lead, but we jump now to the end of lap 3. And in fairness, he is really on my back wheel. He's only a tenth behind, so at this point I kind of felt I could feel his presence there, so I was expecting a good run out of here, a bit of slipstream down to turn 1. He might once again try and leave the brake off, and that is exactly what he does. He does leave me, and again the bike kind of makes a bit of a wobble on the entry, so I give him a bit more room. So I actually kind of sacrificed the corner small but true there. But the main thing is we are now back into P2, and we have to basically just keep tabs on him, because he's going to feel like he's after overtaking me on speed, and he probably feels like he can push the race on a bit. And after his performance yesterday, there's no question that he could actually run away with this one if he's given clean fresh air in front of him. So I need to make sure, you can see again, we've good corner entry speed, which is the main thing. Jump now to the end of lap 4, we go to the outside. We try to maybe kind of dummy him into braking a bit deep, and he goes again to defend it. So I think to myself, just get off the brake early, get the bike turned. I was hoping to be a bit more alongside him, but we are almost level on the run to 2. And again, we just try and keep the inside line. And in fairness, Foxer, clean as always, does give us the room. He goes for a bit of a cutback, and we actually have a small bit of contact here, and then it looks like a bit of lag, and he gets bounced out. So once again, we are into the lead, and 3 of us fly through the very fast turn 4. Now we jump, unfortunately, to lap 9. There was no other kind of incidents or accidents at this point, and we're at the start of the 9th lap, and the gap only at the moment is kind of 0.7, so pretty much matching each other, low 39s for the whole race. So the race pace was ridiculously hot at this point, but I was comfortably controlling the race from the front and was able to manage him. And you see here in a second, 0.7 turns to 4.1 all out of nowhere basically. You'll see here in a second he gets a wheelie out of 1, and then just that kind of weirdness that this mod has, just some weird features sometimes. And unfortunately, his charge for the race win ends there, so we end up with over 4 seconds. And it actually brought other FRT rider, Alpha Claw, onto the back of him, and then he had to basically defend his P2 instead of trying to attack me. So it was nice for me, because I kind of felt I was pushing on enough, and we were doing really low 39s, which was really good qualifying pace, and I mind race pace. But once again, it's coming a bit of a theme that we enter a championship, maybe not start off as favourites and then do well, and then we get to the end of the year, like in the BMW International one, and we end up at Jerez, and we look to be on for a race win that kind of seals our championship. So it's quite funny, because again the same things kind of happen. It's a repeat of itself this year. We won the BMW International Cup last year with a race win at Jerez, and then it looks like we're going to win here in this one. We've already wrapped up the championship in this Mesgp World Super Sport Championship. So it's quite funny, the similarities of the seasons that we've had over the last couple of years. But half a lap to go now, we're just backing the pace right off, just making sure of it. 4.5 seconds back to Foxer and Alpha Ross, so they're heavily tied up with each other, so I'm by no means the target anymore. So we have a real critical win, because this is the only race, funnily enough, might sound silly, that enter the race wanting to win. Every other race from race 1, it was if I can kind of be near Foxer, if I can beat Billy, if I can take points off him, take points off this and that, whatever, that would be good. I was kind of thinking of the bigger picture every race. There was no race where I was coming in thinking, right, we have to get 25 points. But after wrapping up the championship, having our special delivery from Bunta, it was very, very important to me that we went out and actually performed with it, and not just kind of pootled around in P3. We go through the stadium section, the Spanish fans give us a roar, give him a little wave as well. So it's overall, it's been a great Sunday for me. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get pole position, but we have the fast lap, and we are now well on our way to the race win here. And once again, through Crivier Ferrari, we give a bit of a support to the fans And it's just been a nice one because we've got just a bit of a leeway at the end of the race. And we drifted into Lorenzo's, a bit of a rare brake action there going on to slide the bike into the last corner. But up the line, it is going to be a victory. And it's going to be champion as well. So again, the championship was decided, but it was a nice way to end off the season with the championship. You can see the results on screen now. So I end up winning it from Foxer. Boxer was just ever so slightly ahead of Alpha Claw. But more importantly, here is the championship standings. We win ahead of Foxer and Alpha Claw, Billy Jones, Sender. So top 6 actually, all FRT riders, different bikes for some of us, but we're all part of the same team. So it was a real dominant championship for our squad. So I think if my memory is correct, actually everyone who won a race was actually part of the same team, which is pretty dominant. But we win by 36 points in the end, so we have a nice margin to Boxer in the end. Alpha Claw with a sublime P3 as well, up against some real fast guys. But that is where we're going to end it for this championship. Another championship won. Real surprise, really. I won this one in the end. I won a race in every round, and I won it with a race to go. But just, yeah, I'm still going back to when we came into Catalonia. I was 7th fastest in the pre-race testing, and I remember I joined the public lobby, and there was these guys I've never heard of, and they were on V2 Ducatis, and they were like pulling away from me in these lobbies. And I was like, I'm absolutely screwed. And like, I have this thing for every championship I enter. I feel like maybe this is the one now where I kind of get found out and I become like a mid-table rider, and I struggle for top 10s. But so far we keep surviving and proving we might be actually half okay at this game. So we keep just about getting away with our skill issues. But I want to thank you all for tuning in to all the races. It's been real fun racing. Thank you to everyone for hosting, and of course thank you to my fellow riders for making it a very entertaining championship to take part on and to edit back and make videos on. So again, I hope to see some of you on track soon, and yeah, let's see where it goes. Obviously for now, once again, we're semi-retired. I'm not taking part in the Moto 2 championship that's taking part this year. I'm not really interested in that, to be honest. I have other projects I want to focus on, but we never know, we might see some more league racing on the channel sooner rather than later, because I do hear there's things cooking elsewhere. So yeah, we look forward to that. But I'm going to leave it there. I hope you have enjoyed. If you did, drop a like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I shall catch you in a future video in the not so distant future. Thanks for watching. Slán go fóill.